guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're back here at one of our favorite parking lots because guess what? We have that one off-road luxury SUV that is a standout. This is a 2021 Lexus LX 570. But before we get into this Land Cruiser of a type of SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Lexus, that premium brand of Toyota, been around since 1989. This LX 570 has been going strong for about 13 years, believe it or not, without any major changes. Now, underneath all that shiny sheet metal is gonna be that full running gear from that highly coveted Toyota Land Cruiser. But you know what? Putting on the more luxurious shell and also the luxurious appointments to the interior really makes this a standout in that full-size off-road SUV segment. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Joe, what are some competitors to this SUV? You're actually looking at things like the Yukon Denali from GMC, even the BMW X7. But Lexus is on the edge of a redesign coming soon. Should you, though, over, say, a GMC Yukon Denali, over a BMW, should you be going still with this tried and true setup of the LX 570? Let's go ahead, let's dive in, see if it is that one you should buy, and is it worth the price at the end of the day for this luxury off-road SUV? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, I love the color. It's called Nori Green, really fits many of the different vehicles in Lexus's lineup very, very well. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna get these large headlight housings. Now, the good news is, headlight housing is large, but on the interior, you are gonna get that signature LED daytime running lamp from Lexus. Plus, we have the optional triple LED beam headlights. Gonna give you that nice bright white light. If you're wondering what's this little guy here, this is gonna be the washers for the headlights. So as you're going off-road, you could squirt those off to clean off those beautiful headlights. Now, as we continue working our way down, you're gonna have more exterior lighting, LED fog lamps. The great news is no fake vents. Massive ledge comes out from the front fascia, gives it that bold, muscular look. And then of course, you're not gonna confuse it with any other brand. You're gonna get that open grille design. Almost kind of reminds me of the latest Gillette shaver. All these horizontal bars, that gunmetal metallic gray. You do have a forward-facing camera and that Lexus badge. Let me know what you think about the grille on this LX 570. Is this just too large of a grille? Wondering what the redesign is gonna bring for 2022. I like the nice aluminum finish style that they have on the lower section here. And we're looking at 9 inches of ground clearance. Remember, this does have the ability to raise or lower the suspension, but to have that much ground clearance in a luxury SUV is very, very hard to come by, but definitely very muscular in its appearance. Get up onto that hood, what do we have? You have this indentation in the center. I do like the nice, clean look, the way the grille meets with the hood. It's gonna be those tight body lines, that fit and finish that's gonna separate this from the rest of the competition. Coming around the bend, what do we have? Some massive wheels and tires. So you're gonna get these machined aluminum, multi-spoke design with the metallic gunmetal gray, gonna match that grille very, very nicely. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? It's a 20-inch wheel, 255 on the width, meaty 50 series sidewall. You can see that 4-piston caliper lurking behind the wheel. We got almost 14-inch rotors. So not only are you getting V8 power, but you're also getting some very, very substantial braking capability. And then there is our lift suspension with the upper control arm. You can see the shock absorber there. Nice, clean setup. And that, like I said, is the same running gear as the coveted, the legendary Land Cruiser. Now, the great news is from the side of this SUV, it's all painted, that beautiful Nori green. Coming down the rest of the side, you are gonna get color match on the mirror caps, nice and large. A little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. With your turn signals built in, you do have those stationary running boards. Just give you a little bit extra lift as you're gonna get in, or if you're gonna strap up anything up top with those roof rails. So we have the nice close to the roof roof rails, gonna help cut down on wind noise when you don't have the crossbars and maybe a cargo basket up there. But you do have the bright shiny metal only on the bottom, which is nice. Everything else is gonna be gloss black. Some shiny finish on the door handles makes it pop nicely with that nori green. And I just love the classic look of this thing. It really has a nice flow down the side of the vehicle. Large, I mean, these are large rear quarter windows. You can see how they boomerang the chrome trim. Nice size of a body fender coming down into the rear. And then what do we got out back? Of course, you're gonna get LED taillights, nicely done with that brushed aluminum finish. Massive, massive roof spoiler. Wish they would have tucked this underneath here and made it swoop down. So we're gonna have to zonk that, but you do have your Lexus badge, LX 570, with some more of that aluminum style trim looking good. And then dropping on down, what do we finish off with? You got a nice cover that's gonna hide all the towing, utility to this vehicle. And then you do have an exhaust pipe. It is only on the driver's side and it's tucked up out of the way. I wish they would have put some kind of finished exhaust on the back of this LX 570. And you do have the spare. Another interesting thing, spare is underneath to free up some of the room for that cargo area. But why don't we pop the hood and check out the V8 that's underneath it. All right, guys, we got the massive hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts underneath that hood. Is a large engine cover, but you know what? I don't mind it. It's actually pretty tasteful with the V8 badge and the Lexus badge. And you know what? The days are numbered for this kind of power plant. So you're looking at a 5.7 liter naturally aspirated V8, 383 horsepower, 403 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. You could tow up to 7,000 pounds with this LX 570. It does weigh around 6,000 pounds. MPGs is gonna be the really sore spot. 12 in the city, 16 on the highway. But you know what? You are gonna get that tried and true horsepower out of this Lexus product, known for reliability, known for the quality, especially when you're comparing that to a GMC Yukon Denali. That's one thing you definitely gotta take into consideration is that reliability factor. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this LX 570 up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2021 Lexus LX 570. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at the other luxury off-road SUVs, especially the Yukon Denali and a BMW X7. I'm really liking this Lexus even to this day because I like that off-road old school feel. How much is this one? Very good question. The way that this one is optioned is an MSRP of $99,400. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panel. I absolutely love that dark gray material, especially with the stitch work. I kind of wish they would have used it more on the door panel, but you are going to get the gray with the beige finish. There are other options, and you get that actual real wood trim. Adds a bit of class with the silver. The one thing I am going to zonk is the gloss black around the switch gear. They could have used, I think, a little bit different material. Door pocket is a decent size. You're going to be able to get that bottle of Surge in there and 4 tacos from Chipotle. Plus, you'll notice on that speaker grill cover, we do have the 19-speaker Mark Levinson sound system that's going to give you that clarity that's just second to none with your tunes. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same story. You're going to get the gray with that wood after a hard day at work. You can rub your wood on the way home, calm yourself down. You got some of that nice silver. Look how soft that is, like a pillow top with the stitch work. And then even though there hasn't been a major redesign in 13 years with the LX 570, doesn't mean that they didn't bring new technology. So you're gonna get a 12.3 inch screen. You're getting your 12 inches of visual pleasure right smack dab in the center here. Navigation, you can adjust your AC controls, heated seats, ventilated seats, the whole shabam. The only problem is it's not a touch screen. So you can touch it, it just doesn't do anything. Let me show you the backup camera. You do have your backup, and you do have your 360. The one thing I wish they would have done though is use the whole 12 inches. If you have 12 inches, be proud, use it all. But you do have that 360-degree camera and all the trajectory. Put it back in the park, working your way down. They got the classy analog Lexus clock, which is always nice to see. That silver trim is clean. Start-stop button is conveniently placed. And then you are going to have some gloss black here, but you have physical knobs and buttons for all the controls. Adjust your dual climate, adjust your volume. You got that Mark Levinson badging here to remind you that you went big with your sound system. And then watch this. Open Sesame. We got wireless charging and USB and an aux jack, all conveniently placed. Let me see if I can close that up successfully. I did. Check that off. More wood trim. So I'm glad that they went with some wood here. Open that up. You got your 2 cup holders. This guy right here is going to control your 8-speed automatic transmission. And then this particular Lexus has the joypad style of infotainment operation. So you actually move the joypad around like you're playing Pac-Man, and that allows you to get into all the different controls. I love the stitching and the nice palm rest there. And then really the old school feel is so true in this area. So you're going to have heated seats, ventilated seats that you could use buttons, heated steering wheel, and then you could do your hill descent control, lock your center diff, and then it's got the crawl control. All nicely done with your different modes: Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort, Eco, and Normal. And then to go into your 4 high, you just flick up. To go 4 low, you flick down, and then you could adjust the height of your LX 570. Doesn't stop there. More pillow top soft material. Open it up. What do we got? We got the optional cooler. You can literally drop a box of Twinkies in there and keep your Twinkies nice and chilled after a hot day. And these seats, I'm telling you right now, are super comfortable. Nice soft leather, perforated material, bolstering. You have multi-way positionable electric assist for the passenger and the driver. Microfiber suede material. Standard size sunroof. Wish they would have went panoramic, so I am going to zonk that. But why don't you come over to the business end? I got a wood and leather wrap steering wheel I want to introduce you to on the LX 570. All right, guys, business time. You do have 3 memory seat settings. I love this nice aluminum sill panel with the Lexus badging there. Nice, classy touch. You're going to have all your fine seat controls. Easy to get to, easy to operate. Like I said, I'm 6 feet tall. I feel small in here. That's how much room there is. And then the steering wheel is a combination of some leather and wood finish, both top and bottom. It is an older style wheel, but I'm telling you, simple to operate, flat black on the buttons. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down, that 8-speed automatic, and it is electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And the dash, I'm old school, so I love it. Analog tach, analog speedometer, and you're having the auxiliary gauges. If you want digital, you got a small digital display, 4.2 inch in the center area. Gonna be interesting to see what 2022 brings. And we have the optional 10-inch head-up display. But why don't we go get a heads up in the back seat, that mid-row, and see how your passengers are gonna like this LX 570. All right, guys, mid-row time in the LX 570. As you can see, I got my Lexus branded headphones for the entertainment system because you have 2 11-inch entertainment screens. They are adjustable on the backs of the seats. The only zonk is they're not touchscreen. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, how do you work those? I'll show you in a split second. On the backs of the seats, you do have the leather, which is really nice. Large pocket, easily put a couple laser discs back there. And we do have rear AC in the center. Some of that nice wood trim. Open that door. That's going to get you all the connectivity for the entertainment system. And there is one 12-volt back here. I wish they would have at least gave us a USB, but you do have a 12-volt. I have my own monitor. This has the leather condom on it, so it doesn't get scratched. I got AC vents up top as well. We got the security shades, keep the peepers and the creepers out. And then guess what? Pull down the center armrest. Here's your AC controls. We got heated seats and ventilated seats in the back seat. So that's a nice extra addition there. And then open up this Charmin soft lid. We got some area for some Skittles. And then this is going to be your remote to operate that system on the backs of the headrest there for the entertainment. And then if you're wondering, well, Joe, do the seats recline? they recline, and they recline really, really far back, which is nice. And then the bottom portion is actually electric. So you actually can slide the seat electrically and then recline it manually. And you could go way back, way, way back, way, 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 way back. But you know what? Let's get into that pesky third row and see if a 6-foot Joe Raiti can fit back there. All right, guys, third row time. Where's Joe Raiti? He's sitting in the back of this LX 570. And as you can see, my knees are just a little too high up. Where I'm sitting, this is not going to be comfortable for those longer trips. The nice thing is you are getting that massive quarter window, which I pointed out to you on the exterior, which is letting some nice light in, but there's no connectivity back here. I do have AC vents and 2 cup holders and a Twinkie tray, but no connectivity for the third row passenger, and not the most comfortable of seating. But let's go ahead, let's get to the cargo area and see what we could haul in this LX 570. All right, guys, cargo time, real simple. You're gonna hit the button right underneath the Lexus badge. You get a little bit of a chime. It's on the slower side, as you can see, so I am gonna zonk that. But you'll notice that you have actually that split opening tailgate design, which is great, especially when you're going to get groceries, because you keep this top portion up, none of your cans of soup or your watermelon or your cantaloupe is gonna roll down the street when you get to your driveway if you live on any kind of incline. But to get this portion down, it's real simple. Click that, drops on down. Now, we left the third row up. I wanted you to get an idea of how much space we have. So with that third row up, you're looking at 16.3 cubic feet of space. You fold down the third row, that's gonna give you 32.1 cubic feet of space. You fold down all rows, that's gonna give you 83.1 cubic feet of space. Now, I do like this nice loading dock area to get things in and out of. Very, very interesting how you get the seats out of the way. So watch this. You're actually gonna hit the buttons over here, fold down one side, fold down the other. As you can see, we already put the mid-row down. That allows you to put something up higher, and then you can have something lower over here. There is a power source on the driver's side. So you do have a home power source back here, which is a nice touch, but you'll notice that there's no connectivity for those third row passengers. Don't like that whole setup, but you do have a nice Twinkie tray for each person back there. To get the third row up out of the way, watch this. Very, very fascinating how this works. So you're gonna hit the buttons and they're gonna lift up out of the way just like that. So many different ways to utilize your LX 570. I think the one other zonk that I'm gonna have to give is that you manually have to lift up this lower portion. So as before, you hit that and it drops down, you gotta manually lift it, and then to close the back, we're gonna hit that button just like that, and that's gonna drop on down. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get some V8 on throttle in our LX 570. All right, guys, we're gonna get out onto the open road here in our LX 570. I do have it in Sport Plus mode. You're just gonna use that little mode selector knob. You could go from Sport, Comfort, Eco, and I'm telling you, every time you make an adjustment, you could feel the difference in the way that the engine behaves with the transmission, the throttle sensitivity, steering. But let's go ahead and go on throttle. I'm gonna slow down here, and we're gonna go from a slow roll so you could feel the power of this naturally aspirated V8. But on throttle, here we go. Drops down and we're off. So with that naturally aspirated V8, you're gonna get that linear torque delivery, which is great. Pulls all the way through the rev range. Visibility is phenomenal. You could adjust how high or how low this LX 570 sits, which is another nice touch. Seats are comfortable, supportive, and you got all of the adjustments you want, including ventilated and heated seats. The sound deadening material that they use is on point in this thing. Very, very quiet, even with the 20-inch wheels. Going down the road, you got great visibility, especially out of the side mirrors, and you're gonna get your safety features that you want as well. Dash is easy to read, easy to understand. I know a lot of people want their digital dashes and everything, but I really like the analog touches in this LX 570. Massive infotainment. Yes, you can't touch it, but it is large enough to where you can see it very, very easily. And like I said, besides the actual joystick part, going through the rest of the system is not too shabby. And you could zoom in, zoom out. It just takes some practice, like I said, using that that joystick, which is not really my favorite. Obviously, if it was a touch screen, it would be a lot easier to use. But you can see where we are on our home screen, going through the different settings. I could go into destination, you hit down, and then that brings up your points of interest with your navigation. And then you could go right back to map, and there you have your map and your AC controls as well. But I'm gonna take the shifter, put it over to the S setting, and that's gonna allow me to shift manually with the paddles on the bottom of the steering wheel. You do have a small gear indicator, which is nice in that lower portion of the 4.2-inch LED display. But let's see how she handles into this left-hand bend. Here we go. Nice and composed. On throttle, here we go. You can hear that V8 rumble. Shifts are smooth in the 8-speed. I mean, you can get up to speed very, very quickly. It soaks up the bumps. I mean, you're not feeling anything really in this Lexus because of the great suspension work and definitely the way that the interior materials, all the fit and finish is exactly what you would expect from this brand. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back over into just normal drive. But steering wheel's got nice leather touch, good thickness to it, and overall it's just it's a unique vehicle. I mean, we could compare this to the Yukon Denali, we could compare this to the BMW X7, but this LX 570 purely has such a unique feel to it that you're not gonna get with many other SUVs in this segment. Really not with any of them. You'd have to go Toyota Land Cruiser. And that's the running gear that you have under all the Lexus sheet metal, is that tried and true Land Cruiser running gear. Now, of course, living in Florida, the biggest thing we have are speed bumps, so I really can't show any of the rock crawling capability or really off-road capability of this LX 570, but rest assured, it does have the credentials to get through just about anything, and you're going to be doing it in a level of luxury and comfort that's second to none. On throttle, here we go, drops down. I love the V8 in this thing. Look at that, pulls all the way through. Brakes feel good. Steering has a nice weight to it. Also really like that touch as well. But hopefully this gave you a great overall feel of what the LX 570 is about. Comparing it to the GMC Yukon Denali, the BMW X7, it definitely has some pluses, also has its minuses as well, but we're gonna get back to where this all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day with this Lexus LX 570. I definitely want to thank Zach and the whole crew over at Lexus and Toyota for allowing Raity's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Yes, it's been around for a while, but you know what? If you're looking for that vehicle that has that luxury side of things, but yet can go through just about anything, this might be the one. Let me know what you think. Is it worth the price? Would you get a Yukon Denali over something like this? Maybe go the BMW route. Very curious to know what you think. Put it in that comment section. If you want to keep seeing full-size off-road capable SUVs on Raity's Rides, leave that in the comment section as well. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the first link in the description, become a Raity's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the muscle behind the camera. Give Lori some love in that comment section. She's out here busting her butt no matter what the weather conditions are. Thank you, Lori, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.